how to work from a hammock, how to work from an Airbnb, how to work from a mountainside, let's say, how to work from this hammock I have sitting outside right here in my apartment in Medellin, Colombia. I think you guys get the point. How to work from virtually anywhere. And in today's video, we'll be going over some of the best work from home jobs in 2019 that you can virtually start today. When I make work from home videos like best stay at home jobs, I really like to take these videos seriously because I know people really are doing their research on how they really can have a side hustle that will be profitable and where they could work to make extra income on the side. So I'll be highlighting for you guys a couple of these jobs that actually pay daily. There are a couple websites in this video, so make sure you stay tuned. Alright, so first up for industries on the list for work from home jobs that you can do in 2019 is to be a transcriptionist. Now, I wanted to highlight that this job isn't the greatest and it is probably the most poopiest out of all the jobs that I'll mention here on this video, but it does get the bills paid. I've personally had other YouTuber friends and other friends from college that have done this. It is a legit side hustle and they have gotten paid on the side on their spare time when they're not in school, when they're not at their regular 9-to-5 job, whatever it is. So of course, of being a transcriptionist, the main skill that you would need to have is to be a pretty good typer and to be able to type pretty fast because you will be listening to audio and writing down what people are saying. The different types of things you could expect to write are, just different videos, business meetings, podcasts, interviews, audio notes, taking notes from different audios. And so if you're somebody that actually does, and like most of these work from home jobs, it is very flexible. So on your own time, you could just sit down at your computer and start typing it out. And that's one of the cool things about being a transcriptionist is the flexibility. It is a really strong point. Some common websites where you could get started include TaskRabbit, Upwork, Freelancer.com, and Fiverr. However, I do want to mention, and this website is a website where you can get paid daily. And I do have a transcription website for you guys where if you're interested, you can work on this website, and that is Allegis Transcription. And I want to note that you do get paid weekly. You can make up to $16 to $24 an hour. The only downfall is you do have to use a PC, so that's obviously not good for Mac users. But I've heard really good reviews about this website from Glassdoor, etc., etc. So you can check out that website if you're wanting to get a jump start on your transcription side hustle. Alright, so coming in at number 2 for industries where you can work from home in 2019, that category is teaching from home. Now, don't underestimate this because literally in every country that I visited as a digital nomad in Southeast Asia, South America, Central America, even Mexico, I think that's north of Central, or maybe that's Central, doesn't matter. But anyways, the main job that I've seen that people have overseas outside of the US or Europe is they're teachers, they're English teachers. So if you are listening to this video and you can understand me and speak and write in English, you're already qualified for these jobs that bring in a really good side income or full-time income. So on a lot of the research that I did and Facebook groups that I looked at in different forums, VIP Kid always comes up as number 1. Now they have been featured in different business magazines, and what I like about VIP Kid is you would be a teacher / mentor to students in China, and it is a one-on-one experience. So you wouldn't be up in front of a whole class virtually and teaching a bunch of kids. It would be a one-on-one experience with just one student, and obviously hours are very flexible and you can make your own schedule. So the cool thing about VIP Kid is that you don't have to develop your own curriculum or your own course material. All the courses are already done for you. They do say that before you start teaching, you do have to refresh yourself on the lesson and make sure you brush up on whatever it is you're about to teach, but you don't have to do that work already for yourself and create your own material. So this is also a good opportunity for teachers. I do have a lot of teacher friends back in the States, so teachers have summers off, so you could be teaching this and making that extra side income during the summer. Or let's say you have a 9-to-5 right now where it is very flexible and maybe you could squeeze in hours into that schedule. You can do VIP Kid on the side. So one thing I do want to mention about VIP Kid is it is better to be available during the peak hours in Beijing because these are Chinese students trying to learn English. You do get paid with direct deposit, which is excellent. When you see that boom numbers pop into your bank account online, Guys, that is like the best feeling ever, right? So with VIP Kid, you can make up to $22 an hour. And I will mention, this only goes for people in the US and Canada. You do have to have a bachelor's degree and have at least 1 year of experience teaching children already. So the next website that I wanted to mention in the teaching from home category is Study Pool. Now this website is pretty cool because essentially you will be helping students with their homework and tutoring students on different types of subjects. And I believe this is one of the websites where you do get paid daily. And on their website, they do mention that you could make up to $5,000 per month using Study Pool. I don't know how valid that is, but I do know that this website has gotten really good reviews. So what you would do is essentially go on their website, see what the subjects are, see what you can, what you're the best subject matter expertise on, and you can teach on that particular subject and tutor people. So it's really cool. You're not limited to just teaching English, for example. There are a variety of different topics that you can choose from. So if that interests you in being a tutor and giving advice to students, go ahead and check out Study Pool. All right, if you guys are liking this video and want to see more work from home category videos that I've made in the past, I'll leave the links up here, but also I'll leave the videos that I've made before in the description below. I have other side hustle videos I've made and a video called 10 ways to make money on the beach. So check those out after this video. Now back to the topic of working from home in 2019. The next industry I wanted to mention is being a virtual assistant. Now, not everybody, don't cry out and be like, oh, Marissa, what the F? Why are you talking about being a virtual assistant? I am, because this is something I would actually for real consider doing myself if, let's say, I lost it all and had to, get a quick job. I would be a virtual assistant because I consider myself, and if you consider yourself a person who's goal-oriented, organized, likes to help people, and has the best interest in seeing a company grow, this is a really good position. Now in the US, on average, virtual assistants make around $15 an hour, sometimes more if you have more experience, and the duties can vary pretty drastically. Anything from doing like personal assistant work, like scheduling things, hotels, flights, different business trips for people, organizing calendars. I have a virtual assistant who actually does stuff like customer service. They assign different things and do different things with my email marketing and my autoresponder. They help me manage all my social media accounts. So by default, you're kind of like a social media manager as well. You'll probably do a lot of things as far as like organizing things in spreadsheets, just things to help the business run more smoothly. To get exposure pretty quickly to being a virtual assistant and getting clients, you can go to Monster, you can go to Craigslist. Also on Instagram, there's not like a bunch of virtual assistants that have like millions of followers, but it's a good way to get exposure on Instagram because people a lot of times are looking for virtual assistants to hire. That was the first person I personally hired on my team when I was able to start scaling up my business. All right, so the next industry up on the list is to be a freelance writer. Now, for this one, I had to give a shout out to my girl Kat Theo, who I've done a collaboration with before on the channel, because on her channel, she talks about the work from home and jobs that you can get paid daily, and she is very, very credible. So these websites, I have to give credit to her because she did the research on them, and so I am just passing along the great information that she shared. So the first category within the freelancing and writer industry is called Gamunation. And so Gamunation is a website that focuses on solutions for PCs and game error bugs, crashes, and other issues that are going on with games and computers. It covers gaming related news, and so they are looking for writers that are capable of writing articles within the gaming niche, everything from gaming issues, gaming reviews, gaming news, gaming play guides, gaming tutorial guides, game related top 10 lists, and the list goes on. So what I like about this website is they are one of the few websites that pay you up to 70% for the revenue that is generated for this specific article. And the cool thing about that is that this website has about 500,000 views per month. So that's a lot of traffic. So if you're consistently writing articles for this website, you can expect to get paid a pretty good amount, if you know what I'm talking about. So you do get paid through PayPal after your first $10 threshold of revenue that you produce from the articles. And also they claim to be one of the top 100,000 websites in the world. So that's pretty significant considering that there's millions and jillions of websites on this planet. So check out Gamunation. All right, the next industry within freelance writing category is for teens and young adults, and some magazines that are geared toward that audience. And the first one is Cicada Magazine. They pay up to 25 cents per word, and guess what? You can write up to 9,000 words. If you do the math, that is $2,250 per article. I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty damn good. I mean, that's like 70% of my monthly income that I made as a civil engineer. So for Staccato Magazine, obviously the audience is teens and young adults, so if that interests you, check out Staccato Magazine. So the next website is called Cricket Magazine, and this audience in particular are young sports readers and who have an interest in the sports industry. They pay up to 25 cents per word, and with a maximum of words per article of 2,000 words. Now, here's a category you may not have ever heard of or think that you could have been a freelance writer in, but that is the erotic and romance category. Yeah, I said it. I said erotic, exotic. And that first website is called East of the Web. Now, this is a website where you can write short stories in all kinds of different genres and categories, including erotic, romance, sci-fi, crime, fantasy, and this is kind of weird, but you could even write stories within the children's category. I mean, yeah, erotic, children, I mean, whatever, but you can do that all on this magazine's website. And they pay up to 5 cents per word. So if you want to get your career started in the erotic romance niche, you can check out East of the Web. All right, so the next website in the romance category, just the romance, not erotic, is called Heroes and Heartbreakers. Now, this website, they like to have different articles, you know, short stories and novellas in the romance genre. They pay $1,000 up front and 25% royalties after that. The next category for freelancing and writing is the health industry. And the first website you can check out if you're interested in writing these kind of articles is Vibrant Life. They're looking for writers that want to write about, you know, physical and emotional health. They pay up to $100 to $300 per article, and they're looking for no more than 400 to 650 words per article. The next one in the health category is called Wellbeing Magazine. They pay up to $500 per article, and they are looking for topics more within the natural health industry, so topics on natural health and also topics on like saving the environment. So improving your life, improving the health of the planet, that is what they're looking for, which is, you know, pretty cool. All right, guys, so I hope that these 4 industries gave you some ideas on some jobs where you can start working from home, some side hustles you can start implementing today. I really do think out of those 4 industries, there's something for everybody. Again, don't forget to watch my other work from home job videos that I've done in the past, because I go over so many, and I'll leave those links in the description. If you guys are looking more to build a sustainable online business that will take time and effort to build, but it is way more worth it for your future and building a business and an asset for yourself, then click on the first link in the description to learn more about how I'm able to build a profitable online business using affiliate marketing and other marketing methods. And you can find out more information in the first link in the description. I'm Marissa Romero. You know what to do. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Join the family if you haven't already. My name is Marissa Romero. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.